And let's get things started off here. So if this is your first time joining, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we're lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist, and so much more here at Brilliant Directories. So David, thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Hey, everybody. So glad to be back with you for another webinar Wednesday. We got number 180 here. We're really moving up the numbers. And for the big 180, we've got a special guest presenter coming up in today's webinar as well. I'm sure many of you know him. So really looking forward to that.
Awesome. Yeah, we do have a special guest joining us today for the tip of the week. So we'll unveil that in just a few clicks. Karen, I see you just logged in here. Welcome, Karen, to the webinar, and also Dominic. All right, we are streaming on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the Brilliant Directories YouTube channel, highly recommend doing so. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube and just click on that subscribe button. You'll get notified as soon as the webinar replays are available, tips of the week, featured tutorials, and tons more. And one of the benefits of streaming on YouTube Live is, one, we get to reach out to our friends on YouTube, but also the replay will be immediately available, and we will post it in the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. And we invite you to join us there as well. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and just click on that blue join button. I'm in there myself. There are some really constructive discussions asking how to grow about growth strategies, marketing ideas, people sharing feedback, asking questions. So if you're just starting out or you've been working on your site for a while and you want to mingle with some fellow membership website owners, it is a great place to be. And actually, yeah, in the Facebook group last month, we were running an iPad giveaway with some runner-up prizes. Lars was our big iPad winner. So again, if you want, we do these from time to time in the Facebook group. So again, definitely recommend going to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. Lars won the iPad this time, a new iPad Air. He's located in Germany. That delivery is on the way and probably expected for tomorrow. And we had some runner-up winners for some lifetime website plans, and several runner-up winners won some Amazon gift cards, $150 Amazon gift cards. I think almost everyone has received their prizes. We might be waiting to hear back from a couple of you there, but if you're on the webinar and you're seeing this, just reach out to the support team or to us via Facebook, and we'll make sure you get your prizes delivered to you. Actually, one thing about this, that contest was just leaving a comment on a post, and I think we got super close to 1,000 comments in the group, which is great. I think the next time we run this, if we can get to 1,000, we'll give away 2 iPads instead of just one. So we'll have you double your chances of winning an iPad if we get a little bit more commenting on that post there. And again, we see a lot of new names and faces. Just a little bit about Webinar Wednesday. Week after week, thanks to your suggestions, the BD community, we're pushing new updates and features into the platform. So Webinar Wednesday really gives us an opportunity to share with you some of those features that help you grow your community a bit faster, things that you can actually take actionable steps with. Things such as increasing your traffic, converting visitors to members. We kind of discuss revenue opportunities in some of the webinars. So if you have questions about your membership website, we should have some time towards the end for a Q&A. If you're stuck on something with your site, this would be a great time to ask us, and we'll always do our best to assist you. And we do have a big tip of the week today, so I'm going to breeze through these lab updates, but actually these are some pretty meaty lab updates. They probably warrant their own tip of the week shortly in the future, but I'm just going to breeze through these so that everyone is aware of some of these new features that are available. At the top here, digital products. In the last webinar, we were just a few days away from releasing this, and I think the tip of the week actually did review the digital products, so that'll be that segment already exists, I think, on YouTube. But basically with the digital products now, instead of only being able to offer a one-time payment option, you can allow users to donate to your site, so they can enter a custom donation amount, $1 to $1 million, however generous they're feeling. You can also have recurring donations. So if someone wanted to donate to your site like $20 a month, like NPR radio or whatever it might be, you can now collect recurring donations to your site. Effectively, the user can enter their recurring amount, and that could be monthly, yearly, semi-annually, etc. In addition to the custom donation amounts, you can also just have recurring subscriptions. And I think I have an example here. This is a test site we had for the digital product. So if you go and create a new digital product, and again, if you're not familiar, digital products are basically additional services or items that you can sell beyond the main membership plan that a user might have on your site. So when you come here to create a digital product as the website owner, in addition to a one-time payment, here we go, you have a free product, recurring subscriptions, or a custom donation amount. So if we click on recurring subscription, you can choose what cycles are available and the prices for each cycle. So if you wanted to enable monthly and let's just say annually, you can set the prices like that. And that would be the price of the digital product, and it'll automatically bill just like the membership plan. So the big news here is prior to this, BD website owners could only pin a member to one recurring subscription. Now you can have infinite and unlimited. It's only up to your imagination as to what you want to offer your members and your community. Also, a major thing, if you have the member credits add-on with this, you can now choose to grant credits after the initial purchase. So if you wanted to sell, $200 worth of credits to your site for $100, you can do that here by setting how many credits they'll be granted to your site afterwards. And even bigger, you can choose if members can or cannot use their existing credits towards this purchase. So if I have $100 of credits in my account, I can't, you can choose it so they cannot use it. They have to use their credit card or a valid payment method. So you, the website owner, actually collect real funds for the purchase. So in effect, you can sell credits and ensure that you are receiving a real monetary value for that purchase, not the user just using their credits. All right, next one here. This is huge. And again, it does warrant its own tip of the week, but tags in the admin area are now available. You can create custom tags and pin your members to these static tags. Let me show you where those are. And David, while I'm going here, are there any use cases or just common use cases you can think of off the top of your head for member tags and why anyone would want to use these?
They could be used when you're importing a specific list of members for people who submit specific forms on your website. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same as smart lists, which are dynamically updated, but custom tags allow you to essentially add kind of keywords to specific members so that you can better organize them in a little bit different of a way compared to smart lists.
I think that's great. And I'm just creating a sample here. So you can create tag groups. So maybe you want to create a group of tags just to identify, I'm doing in this example, imported members. So let's just make a tag called January 2024. I can choose the tag group it belongs to. So it's going to be really scalable and expandable as this evolves into more than kind of this phase one release. But here what we've done is we've created a tag group, and then you could have multiple tags nest as part of the tag group. Let's go to search members real quick, and let's actually assign a few people, just this first group of 20 people to that tag group. So there's bulk actions here, and you can do add or remove tag, and we'll hit apply. And you just choose, we're going to add a tag, and I'm going to choose lawyers imported January 2024. This could be people who maybe attended an event of yours and you want to just tag them on your site that they attended an event, and later what you can do is you can search for member tags here. So lawyers imported January 2024. I think I did 20 members. Let's see if they come up. 25 members here. So from this, with this tag group, we can create a smart list. And from the smart list, then we can send newsletters. And we know nobody's going to enter or exit the smart list because it is a static list. We had to manually tag these people as the admin of the site. So we know it's always going to be the same 25 people. And what you can also do is you can also do a quick edit if you want to individually add or remove someone from tags. You'll have a new tab here called member tags, and then you can untag or tag the person. You'll see all the tag groups and their tags and the available tags on your site here. In later phases, we're going to want this to work with the API. So as you're importing members, you can tag them via the API, or if certain actions happen, you can update them via the API. And then even further later, with form fields, if users fill out certain form fields on your site or certain forms on your site, we can create actions that will add tags to those users on your site. So this first rendition of it is still super powerful, and there's going to be lots more coming down the way. All right, this next one, it seems so simple and it's been highly requested, but now you have a email outbox to see all the system emails that your website is sending out, all the lead emails to the member and the website visitor, the review emails, the sign up emails, the past due emails, the billing reminder emails. Any email that your website is starting to send out now is going to be tracked in the email outbox. So you'll be able to see who an email was sent to and exactly what that email said, even if it was a system email. Let me show you where you can see that. That is in the email section, of course, and we'll go to email outbox, and everyone should have this on their BD site. And basically, this is just a stream of activity, just like the website activity log. This is just a log of all the emails that the website is sending out. And the beauty about this is you can actually see the status, if it was delivered, opened. I even think there's a click status here if we can see it. I don't see one here, but it will show if it's clicked or if the email has bounced. So you can get some stats here. You can actually filter by some of the statuses here as well, unopened, clicked, spam complaints even, and things of that nature. And again, this is the first iteration of the email outbox. We'll be looking into adding more functionality, but as of now, as the website owner, you can reconcile and see all the individual emails your site is going out. And in my opinion, emails are the heart of any online business. So if you wanted to see a pulse of your business and how hard your website is working or what it's doing, this would be a great place to come and check, which is your email outbox. And again, this is in the sidebar under emails, and it's under forms inbox, it's email outbox. All right, this next one here, we did allude to it in the previous webinar. For post comments, up until now, users could come to your site and leave comments on posts if you've enabled posts, but if they got a reply to their comment or they wanted to follow the post in case new replies or new comments were created, there was no way for them to get notified. So in this iteration, users can now follow posts via following comments. And let me show you what that looks like. Give me a second to just pull up a sample site that I can use here. All right, let's log in here. All right, let me check out this site. And let's go to, I think latest news should have something in it. Perfect. And what everyone has on their BD sites is post comments. So now there will be this button here. It says follow comments. And what's great about this is in order to follow comments, you need at least a basic user account because you need to register an email address so it knows who to send the notification email to when you are following comments. So there are two settings with this. When you follow comments, you can choose to get notified via email for any new comments on this particular post. So this is great for discussion threads or posts that have a lot of activity or asking people for their opinions. So any new comments, or the user can get notified only for replies to comments that they have left. So if they leave a comment, someone replies to that comment, then they'll get notified via email. And also related to this, if you want to turn off following comments so you don't enable this, you can do so if you go to interactions and go to post comments. And what's really nice about the post comment settings is for each of your post types, whether it's articles, property listings, jobs, events, there are, I think, individual settings for each post type. So perfect. So if you have post comments enabled, so we have post comments enabled for community articles, discussions, and website blog articles. If we scroll down here, here's the option to display display the follow comments button. So we can actually turn it off. Let's see which post type this is. This is the blog one, so website blog article. Let's actually turn that off together. And if we come and refresh this page, the red button should be gone. So you as the website owner can decide if you want people to follow comments or not. If you've enabled comments, I think it's great. It's just more people registering on your site, more engagement and activity, the email reminders, that the notifications that people get, it brings them back to your website. So you're driving traffic to your website. So really, I just see it as a win win. And I hate predicting the future or saying things too soon, but I'm going to say later in the year related to post comments, I think we'll have upvote features for comments. So you can like a comment or upvote it, whatever you'd like to call it, and then sort comments by, which one has the most like, or bubble them to the top, similar to a Stack Overflow or a Reddit. And right now, users can't edit or delete their comments. That will be a setting later this year. So users can modify or delete their comments. Some sites don't allow that. Once the comments left, they want it to remain as it was because people reply to comments and then they change the original comment. But we don't need to get into all that. That's just some things coming down the line in the future. All right, this next one here is going to be a security update, starting with the admin login. As website owners, we log into that domain managed by Directory. We will be making two-factor authorization available via email so that when you log into the email, you have to put a token in order to actually complete your login. So just adding an additional layer of security. After we get things smooth for the admin login, we're going to see about releasing it for your own websites after we smooth things over with that and it's working properly. Because once you start introducing this to your members and stuff, a benefit, but it will come with additional customer service, people locking themselves out of their account. So there needs to be methods and protocols to mitigate some of those things. So we're going to be making it available soon for you guys, the website owners, when you log in to work on your sites. And later this year, we'll see about making it available so you can make it available on your membership websites as well. And then last but not least, the business data. There's been a lot of chatter in the Facebook group. I announced it earlier this year. It's a really big update. The first hard part of this was trying to find data providers where we can pass on the savings for the data to the Brilliant Directories community. Data can get pretty expensive, so we've done our best to work with data providers so that we can give you guys the best price per record. And I actually have a quick demo that I can show you guys. This isn't ready yet. This is just a quick preview. So I'm going to show you a little bit, 1 minute, 2 minutes on how this is going to work. And then we'll dive into the tip of the week. So again, not released yet, coming very soon, meaning in the next week or two. So this month in June, it should be released. When it's released, you'll have a tab here in your sidebar, a link called Business Data. I'll just do a refresh on this page here. And what you'll be able to do is search by business category. So there's like 5,000 plus categories here. We'll just look for chiropractors. And you can search any location. By default, it will start on your primary country of your site. But you can put Los Angeles. You can put Los Angeles County. You can put Berlin, Germany. You can do whatever you'd like. Then it's not always 100% guaranteed, but you can actually check, and we check them for you by default, preferred attributes, just to get better records or better quality of data. So asking the system to prioritize that the record has a phone number, a logo image, website URL, company description, and or it's been updated with the data provider in the last 30 days. That's a pretty good indicator. But just to show you, and we'll just do the United States as an example here. Let's do search for records. So there's 51,000 records that are chiropractors in the United States. I'll just go back and I'll checkbox a few of these. So that was 51,000. Let's search for records. And we see that got cut down to 20,000. So 20,000 presumably have the preferred attributes we have. So depending on the type of data you want, some people might just want the best quality data the system can find. You'll want to checkbox all these. But if you're a little bit loosey, you don't really care if there's a phone number or not, you just want to fill your site with as much data as possible, you may want to uncheck some of these. But let's go ahead and check these off here and go to search for records. And what we're going to do is we're going to start every BD site off with the ability to download 50 records. So any BD site will have 50 records. After that, there will be a price. We can share that later with you guys. It's a nominal cost, but you'll have credits, and every credit will be a business listing that you can import to your site. So in this case, there were 20,000 records found, and this site has 6,700 import credits available. So it can import 6,700 of the 20,000 credits. But you might not want to do that. You might want to just do 100 because you're going to go do a bunch of different categories, right? You might do chiropractors, lawyers, doctors, Italian restaurants, and so on. So you don't have to use your entire credit limit on just one search. Just for this example, I'll do 5, and we'll hit continue to import. And what's nice about this, it's just like the CSV or file import that you do with your members when you're adding members to your site via CSV file. So we're going to choose the membership plan we want them to be. Their status is active or not active. Now, member tags were just recently released, and with this, you can assign a member tag for this. Highly recommended. So if you ever have an issue with this import or you need to segment people from this import, they will have their own tag. So you can create a tag or you can assign them to an existing tag on the site. My recommendation is just create a new tag, give this import a nickname, just so you can identify these members after they're imported. And then lastly, and I think this is the most special part, is how do you want to handle the category for chiropractor in this case? Are we going to add these members to an existing category? I think we might have a chiropractor category. So it would just add them to an existing category, or are we going to create a new top level category or create a new category under a top level or a sub level category? So really the category placement here is really nice. And if you ever need to change the category URL or the actual name, you can do that in the member categories page. So let's go ahead and import these 5 records here. So that looks like it's starting. Then what you do is we can go to the import products page, and I'll just go there with you guys. So after your import, we'll come back here. You have a tab here that says My Imports, and here we can see that now it's finding logos. It's geocoding the records, meaning that they'll be searchable when you type in a location on your site, and it'll just process here. So here we have 2 out of 5 records. It's 40% complete. And what's nice is if we go to search members here, there we go. We can see it's still working a little bit. So here, so we have the joint chiropractic, Bradshaw chiropractic. Again, this was all over the United States. You can put smaller regions if you like. But what's nice is the profile is created. It attempted to get as many logos or profile images as possible. So these are all here. And let's see if that finished. So that just finished. It's 100% complete now. And just with a few clicks, you've added listings to your site. So it's not necessarily that these businesses are going to convert to paying members, but if you want to make your site or help your site appear seasoned or established, and you're just starting out, this is an 100 or 500 listings goes a really long way just to make a site feel useful and resourceful, I should say. And seasoned. So this will be a great way to start populating your site. So that'll be its own tip of the week. With that, we will move on to the tip of the week. And David, if it's all right with you, I'll pass over the reins and you guys can take it from here with our special guest, Spencer Mercy.
Yeah, we are very lucky to be joined by Spencer here in today's webinar. Many of you might know him. Spencer's from Brilliant Setups. Brilliant Setups is one of the third-party partners in our marketplace. Spencer's been working on BD sites for a long time. I think going back to 2019, maybe even earlier. But lots of experience working with lots of BD website owners, not just with basic website setup, but also going into the members' journey and kind of helping put together a more full and holistic sort of business plan for directory and membership websites. And so we're lucky to be joined by Spencer today. He's put together a presentation for us focused on a specific case study, but tying into just some simple strategies to help increase member signups and the overall health of a membership business. So Spencer, thanks for joining us. I'll pass the reins over to you.
Yeah, no problem. Nice to meet everybody. And thank you, David and Jason, for having me today.
All right. Yeah, it's super great to have you here, Spencer. Excited for what you have to present for us today.
Yeah, no problem. Let me see here. Like David and Jason are saying, it's nice to meet everybody. My name is Spencer Mercy. I'm the founder and senior strategist here at Brilliant Setups. We're really proud to say that 100% of our clients run their businesses on the Brilliant Directory platform. A lot of things that we help with is the strategy before the implementation and building out your Brilliant Directory website, or if you've launched and you're not getting that traffic or members signing up and focusing more on that buyer journey, which we'll talk a little bit about today. We help focus on those things as well. We do offer, we are a full stack agency, so we do have, a team of developers and also a marketing team to help out as well. And anyone who's really looking to just get some quick website setups, we fall into that as well. So today, what I wanted to talk about is just some simple strategies to help increase signups and sales and ultimately leads for your Brilliant Directory website. We have a client here called the Alternative Pain Treatment Directory, and the owner of the Alternative Pain Treatment Directory, her name is Cindy Perlin. Cindy Perlin has been an alternative pain treatment practitioner for a very, very long time. She has a whole career in this field. And for those who don't know what alternative pain treatment is, it's really another avenue for people who are wanting to get help without having to go through pharmaceuticals. So throughout her career in this field, she's built up a very big, extensive network of alternative pain treatment professionals and vendors. And working in this industry as well, they identified a problem. And the problem is that many alternative pain treatment practitioners and vendors often get their services or products banned on other platforms just because it's not widely accepted yet. And, that's big pharma has a big play in that. So the opportunity for Cindy to launch a Brilliant Directory website was that she identified that need to create a space where you could find alternative pain treatment professionals and products, hence why she launched the Alternative Pain Treatment Directory. So we'll just take a quick look at her website here. So when you click into her website on her homepage, a couple of things you can kind of notice, David and Jason, everyone, is right off the bat, it's not immediately just throwing people into a search. It's more on educating them on what the brand is, the value that she's providing, and the type of content people can expect to find. I know working with a lot of Brilliant Directory owners, a lot of times, they have their site set up, but if you go to the homepage, it's a search at the top, then it's streaming articles and then streaming some members. But when you're a new brand and people don't really know who you are, what it is you do, it's important that you're able to persuade that on your homepage and tell that story so that people don't have to go in and figure it out. Because if they have to go in and figure it out, the chances of them searching around the site or continue searching or learning more, it's very minimal. So it's always good here to use this space to talk first about what your site is and what it is you do and the problems you're solving and making that connection with your audience. And then if you scroll down just a bit, you can see she has a search and a couple of information of articles below that.
And if you could just want to interrupt you for a second, Spencer, can we go back to her slide with like a who, what, or So she was already working in this industry. And
correct. Okay,
I feel like most people's directory journeys start with, they're familiar with an industry and, they work in the industry and they see there's an opportunity or there's a problem or a bottleneck that they could resolve with the directory with two things, like helping to promote or the professional or give more visibility to the professionals, and also helping to attract consumers or end users who need the services of those professionals. Is that kind of what what I was reading here?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly. Yeah. She's been she started this business in the industry that she works in because, over the many years being able to identify that problem. And I know a lot of BD owners, they start businesses in their industries as well.
I just bring focus to what I've noticed as far as successful directory sites. The more niche or targeted your market is, the easier it is to connect with that market because they can see themselves and envision themselves on your website, and it's a lot easier to speak to that audience. And what I'm seeing here, and I only took a look at this site like before the webinar, you kind of shared it with us, but is that kind of the way she's positioned this directory site is that niche market?
Correct, exactly. Yeah. So she only focuses on alternative pain treatment. She doesn't venture out of that, but she does have a couple of personas that she talks to, which we'll jump into here in a second.
And just last thing, you showed us her homepage. If you want to show her homepage on, so before she started working with you guys, like what was the focus of her homepage? I know you mentioned not having search modules and stuff, but what's the difference between how it was and what you helped her do?
Exactly. Yeah. So when we started working with Cindy a couple of years ago, it was exactly like the search at the top and then the streaming content, and it wasn't really educating people a lot on what her brand is about. So we help curate an experience and content that goes with that to talk about what her business is. And that's a lot of what we helped her with for this page.
Gotcha. And just to say, like, that doesn't necessarily mean for other sites having a search on there is a bad thing. It's just, it depends on the market you're in.
Exactly. Right. And it does take some strategy and tweaking to figure out what's the best way for you.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. This just from looking at the homepage, it looks text heavy to me, but I can understand that someone looking for, something medical like alternative pain treatment, they're going to want to kind of absorb as much information as possible. So I can see how in this market, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's educating again. So moving to one of the strategies here is when we were working with Cindy, she really wanted to have a $50 to $60 a month payment subscription. But in this industry, from what we learned, that it's really hard, and we're receiving some resistance from practitioners from signing up at that price point. So we worked with her on figuring out what's a way that we can, one, get to that price point, but still have a way for people to technically get their foot in the door. And the strategy that we worked with was, one, people can sign up as a practitioner for $25 a month and list their services as an alternative pain treatment practitioner, or they can sign up as a vendor and list their products. And once we kind of had your foot in the door and you start becoming more familiar with the brand and you start becoming familiar with the content and the audience, it's much easier for us to kind of upsell you to that $50 or $60 monthly subscription mark, because some practitioners, they do have products, so they do want to start advertising that on the site, or vendors do offer services, they want to start marketing those on the site as well. So that was one. So that was a way that we were able to hit that $50 to $60 price point, was upselling people over time once we kind of got them in. So another thing that I wanted to that we helped with, that I also wanted to touch base on, was that I know a lot of challenges Brilliant Directory owners face is there's a lot of value that Brilliant Directory offers, and a lot of things features and that the platform can do. So on the pricing page, a lot of times when we see directory sites, it's on the pricing page, it's either a nice hero image and then, straight to the membership plans. And there's no real connection being built there. When people are trying to make a buying decision, they really want to understand that you know who they are and that you're able to make that connection between their pain points and the benefit. So on Cindy's join page, we worked with her to get this video up with her brand in the background, with her camera on, her talking, introducing herself, telling her story of who she is and her journey as an alternative pain treatment practitioner. And then here on the text, we focused on the why and the problems that she's solving and making that connection between the pain points that practitioners or vendors have, because a lot of times, like we said before, they get banned off other platforms. So we wanted to make that connection here before just, throwing the membership plans kind of in their face. So we really hone in on that. And then down here, we talk about the plans. And here you can see we do have that $25 a month just to get people started on the website.
So at the top there, I noticed that it's all text, but what you've done is you've highlighted benefits rather than just telling them what they're going to get. Like, you get to choose 10 categories. You get to have your phone number. So speak to that a bit on how you chose these as the benefits to highlight up here?
Right. So a lot of times, and especially with brands that just launched, it's important to talk up and face on the benefits that people get, kind of like what Jason was saying, and not the features that your site can do. It's kind of like selling the sizzle, not the steak. And when doing the sales journey, you're trying to paint a picture in someone's head of what their life would kind of be like if they were to move forward with your product. And so instead of saying, list your phone number, list your email, do massive reach and how we promote the directory and doing those targeted connections here. So it's more about those benefits that people can relate to. And then once you've kind of honed in on that, down here on the plans, we start focusing more on the features that people can get and what they unlock on different tiers.
And have you guys, so the $25 is the entry level. I noticed you're not offering a free listing. Was there a free listing offered prior, or was it always like you needed to pay for at least a nominal membership?
Yeah, so it was always paid to sign up. There was never a free option, though. To that point, when you offer a free membership, I think that the importance that a free membership plan can be for those who are thinking about doing it is more about getting someone's foot in the door, so you can then nurture them to your paid content, to your paid features, and giving them time to build that relationship. So if you're a new brand, if the only way that I can build a relationship with you is by paying you to sign up to the website, it's really hard for me to want to do that, especially if I don't know who you are or what your brand does, or I'm not 100% clear on that. So having a way that either have a free membership plan or a lead magnet that people can download that you then, send out newsletters to, those are really good strategies to start nurturing people to your paid content.
Then when we were talking before, you haven't really mentioned it here, but the business journey, what'd you call it? The business journey?
The buyer journey, yeah.
The buyer journey. Mm-hmm. Buyer journey. So just outline the buyer journey. I know you showed us different pages here, but what's the goal of the buyer journey here? And then what would be the goal of a buyer's journey when there's a free membership plan?
So the goal of the buyer's journey is...
Let me rephrase this. Sorry, the pathway of a buyer's journey with a free membership plan.
The pathway of the buyer's journey with a free membership plan normally starts with a landing page that focuses again on the pain points that someone is experiencing to the benefits that they get with signing up with your to your website. And once you have that, it's really about keeping their attention and continue to market to them either through email automation or you do a discovery call with them. And really in the beginning, it's about building that relationship. Then once you've done that and you've sent them a few emails, you've met with a potential member looking to sign up, then you can start focusing on the paid content and offering those chances for them to get in on those things.
Gotcha. I think that's what I wanted to hear is when you have a free membership plan, just waiting for somebody to upgrade on their own is probably going to be hard. It's going to be a long time waiting. But if you build in the fact that you're planning on that free sign up, and as we just showed, I think it was Steven, he wanted to add some buttons in his dashboard on things that he can offer or sell to them, just making that part of the journey and not just waiting for a membership plan upgrade. I think more people will have success with that type of buyer's journey when you offer a free membership plan.
Right. And one thing I also wanted to add was if you do offer a free membership plan and you do, create either newsletters that you're sending out or you do have an email nurture sequence you're using, if you're able to actually have a way for people to book calls with you and meet with you and talk to you, that also speeds up the buying process because people want that relationship.
Gotcha. All right. Great.
Yeah. And so the next thing that we also focused on with her was the type of content that's being added to the website. So we all know that Brilliant Directories offers a lot of different great features. You can add events, you can add articles, coupon shops, the list goes on and on. But if you don't have coupons, if you don't have events to promote, you don't want to be listing those on your website, because you don't want to have users who click in on those tabs, either if you have them in the header or on the homepage, and there's no results, or there's only one results, right? It's not really giving the great experience. So we always recommend that you find 2 to 3 post types that you can really hone in on and focus on giving a great experience, and do that instead of listing out all the different things that a Brilliant Directory website can do. And that's what we worked with Cindy here, is figuring out what are those post types. And like you said earlier, Jason, in this industry, it's a lot about educating and kind of content. So articles was a really great way for her to help promote her website. So one thing that Cindy does is also have an article that gets added every week. And these articles aren't just randomly picked, but she figures out kind of what is trending in the industry, what are people talking about. And for people who don't know maybe how to find out that information, there's a lot of platforms out there, one of them being Moz.com. And those platforms can tell you that. They use search engines, and as they pull SEO to tell you what is trending and what keywords are being used a lot, and what location and what area or what time. So that's a great way to figure out what's some content that I want to publish on my site that I can help kind of boost either the traffic or get more clicks to my site. So Cindy does that through blogs. Another way she utilizes Brilliant Directories is we've kind of renamed the community articles page to Inspiring Stories, where she talks about practitioners who had a really great experience with a client, and she wants to promote that experience for her users, and getting people to be more familiar with these types of practitioners and alternative pain treatment. So she does these every couple of months or so. But you can see that, articles, she is really good at keeping those going every week. The next thing to kind of that I also wanted to touch base on was how she promotes her members. Now, this is 100% Cindy. We did not help her with this part, but Cindy, being a professional in an industry that she's been working in, she's and getting that network that she has, she is able to kind of flex her social media followers and also the newsletters that she sends out, and using that to help sell the brand as well. So she is laser focused on using newsletters and social media to help promote her members and the products that they sell. And a couple of things with newsletter send outs that we helped her with is, if you're sending out a newsletter, it's not about cramming the brand in someone's face, but showing that you're the expert in the industry and building that trust and slowly getting them into the door. And that's exactly what Cindy does. And her newsletters that she sends out every month is really just content that people want to read. And as you go down the newsletter, you'll see that she has articles and blogs that go back to her website. They're always going back to the website. And when you click on an article, you can see this experience that we helped her build up. Is she has blogs that I can also click on. She has banner ads on the sidebar she uses. And in the article itself, there are backlinks and links to other articles and videos that someone would want to read and watch. And another thing is, like, search engines really like this because they want to give sites that produce the best user experience, produce the most content. So Cindy and what we've been working with her, we've done a really good job at trying to give that experience and that synergy that people feel. The next thing, also kind of going on what I said about social media. So Cindy does have a pretty massive following on LinkedIn, and every week she's promoting products and her professionals. So when she posts a social media ad, she always has a link about a product that goes back to her website. It always goes back to her website, back to where I can click on other products or other articles. Again, the ads, and then there's more information. It's not just the description that's about the product, but reviews that someone might have had on the product or other products that are related to the one that I'm looking at. And also, again, the benefits of what that product is. So we really helped her kind of focus in on that synergy of what the linking is going to be. And I wanted to show another one that she does for the professionals. So she also creates articles for different types of alternative pain treatments. This article here is about therapeutic massage and, best types of therapeutic massages for chronic relief. And if you just scroll down here, you'll see that she links out back to her website for professionals. So I can see there's almost over 130 professionals on her site that focus in on this type of therapeutic massage. And again, it's just great to see this because it's constantly promoting her members, her products. And when she does meet with potential professionals or vendors that are looking to sell, again, connecting with them, these are things that she uses when she's talking to people. She shows them the social media posts. She shows them the newsletter. She shows them the followers. She shows them the site, the experiences that she's giving. So it really helps for someone who's interested in signing up to see that and start building that connection, and ultimately having me trust her that she's going to help me promote myself and my products.
Yeah, just to side, we've done webinars on spotlighting members and how valuable that is for the site. And if you're just starting out, you don't necessarily need permission to do a spotlight article on a person or a company. That's basically what newspapers and magazines do all the time. But if you write something favorable for somebody in the industry or an up-and-comer in the industry, you share that on social media, they're going to help aggregate that to their followers and so on. And it's a really great way to, one, make someone feel special, but that spotlight article is going to catch the interest of someone else who's going to say, hey, how do I get a spotlight article on this site? So the benefits are they're just perpetuating benefits when you do spotlight or highlight articles on your members and professionals, because you not only have assets for marketing, but it's bringing people back to your site. You're creating interest in people who may want to advertise on your site or pay for a spotlight article or just request a spotlight article. So I just see massive benefits for kind of the strategy that she's doing. And then I just had a question, like, email newsletters, articles she's adding to her site, the LinkedIn post. Do you have like a rough idea of how many hours a week or how many people are on her team helping her do all this stuff, or is it just her?
Yeah, so it's about a few hours a week, and writing the articles, getting them ready for the next week, and just being ahead of the curve on a lot of things. One thing is when defining in your industry and with this, it's sometimes kind of like tweaking what's going to work in my industry and what's not going to work, and learning from that and seeing not just from the tweaking, but not spending hundreds of hours on the wrong thing, I think is important to know as well.
Gotcha. So it's more routine based now.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying, okay,
exactly. And it takes time to kind of figure these things out. It's not just, I'm going to do articles and that's my solution, right? Again, it's about tweaking and figuring out what's the best for your brand in the industry that you're in.
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks like a nice, clean system she's got going here. The homepage is good, the pricing, and then she's got a system for promoting content that also helps to bring people back to the site and makes her like an industry expert. It seems very effortless, but I'm sure there's a ton of work that has gone into this infrastructure.
Yes, yeah, she's been on Brilliant Directories for a few years now. So it's been really good going on that journey and learning this with her and seeing the success she's having now with her Brilliant Directory website.
And has she done like a tremendous amount of like custom design work on the site, or did most of your effort with her go towards like you said, the buyer's journey and the content and the marketing ideas?
So a lot of this was the buyer's journey. This site, I would say, is about 95% default Brilliant Directories. There's not a lot that's customized. Like this homepage is really using the custom content blocks and putting the text in there. But a lot of this is just default Brilliant Directories. Gotcha.
Okay. Good to know that too.
Yeah. Well, I guess with everything, for those who really want to learn more, we do have a free sales video course on buyer journeys that deep dives more into these topics that we went over today. All you need to do is go to www.brilliantsetups.com/go, and that's going to take you here to this video course we have. It's a free course. Anyone can take it, and you can watch it at your own pace. There's no expiration or anything like that. And again, we deep dive more on a lot of these topics. Or if people who want to meet with me and go over their sites more one-on-one and kind of pick my brain on some things, you can feel free to book a call with me at the link below that, which is brilliantsetups.com/discovery-call.
All right. Thank you so much for that. That was amazing. Let me get my bearings here as well. Thank you, Spencer. That was super informative. And nice to know that, a lot of this stuff is just creating a routine and figuring out a system that works for your market. Let me grab the controls here again.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Spencer. That was a great presentation. We actually do have a few questions that were asked in the live YouTube chat, if you don't mind us firing off a few quick fire questions for you.
Okay.
All right. So the first one, go into the vendors. So there were the practitioners, and then there were also vendors on this specific site. Isaac was asking, were the vendors assigned to a top-level category, or did you leave them uncategorized so that they wouldn't interfere with practitioner searches? Or are they just two separate top categories? How did that work?
Great question. Yeah, so they're two separate top-level categories. The vendors have their own membership plan, and the practitioners have theirs. So it's two separate top-level categories.
Excellent. And then also staying on the vendors, do you know which post type was used for their products? Was it the products post type or the classifieds?
It's the products post type.
Excellent. Very simple. Just a couple last ones here. Gray Vision was asking what was the process for identifying the pain points, and then also how to figure out the messaging in terms of the benefits that the website provides. Was that mostly just from her experience within the industry? Did some other research go into that?
Right. So if you are a professional and you're starting a directory site in your industry, it for you it might be very simple to see those type of pain points and what people are going through to define what's the solution to this. Kind of like what Cindy did with the directory, because professionals and vendors couldn't have platforms to post their content on. So working with her, because she was the expert in the industry, using her knowledge in the industry and our strategies going through the buyer journey, we were able to create and touch on those pain points in a way that hits an emotional effect on people when they read it so they can better understand it. If you're starting a directory in an industry you're not familiar with, I think a couple of pointers you want to look at is, what are other companies in this industry doing that's working for them? What are my competitors doing? And ultimately, what is the problem that you're trying to solve with your directory site?
I think those are some great tips for people who might not be quite as deeply embedded within a certain industry that they're creating a website for. Last question here. Do you know what the rough share was in terms of the different marketing avenues that were taken for the site, whether it was organic search, PPC ad campaigns, social media?
Kind of going back to Sydney's credit, having her extensive network, she does use LinkedIn. Like, she has a lot of followers on LinkedIn that she posts regularly to get clicks back to the site. SEO, like I said before, with articles, it's good. SEO is kind of a long-term play, and if SEO is the avenue you want to go down, I highly recommend checking out sites like moz.com to do that. She did do some social media marketing on like Facebook, which is where a lot of her professionals are also on, but she's seeing a lot of the success through LinkedIn. So it was a little bit of both, but more heavily through LinkedIn and the newsletters that she sends out.
Great stuff. Thank you so much again for the really in-depth presentation here. I think it's going to be a great resource for a lot of users. And I think those were all the questions we had for you from the YouTube.
Awesome. All right,
guys. We'll switch things over to any questions you might have about your Brilliant Directories website. If you're stuck on something, if you have a strategy question, if you want to ask Spencer a question, just feel free to use the raise your hand feature, and we'll start diving into some of the questions right now. All right, we got Dave here. Let me get you, Dave.
Yeah.
How you doing? Where are you calling in from?
Twice. San Diego.
All right. Love San Diego. What's your question for us today?
I put it in that little question board there, but is there any plans to have the content so that we can filter it by member level? So like content on posts, content on members pages, that sort of thing. So if they're this member level, they can see this information. If they're another member level, they can see even more information, that kind of thing. Or is there a way to do that now and I'm not aware of it?
Okay, let me restructure your question. So you want, like, based on the membership level somebody is, they have access to certain types of content on your site?
Well, the way I've got it set up, I've got members, like businesses that are putting their content on the page. Then I've got end users that are coming in, and those are another member level, right? They're signing up to be able to access the information. And so the end users in this case, if they were to go to one of the business member pages, if they're this level, they see this much information. If they're on a higher level, they would see even more information. So this way you can kind of meter what they get versus they just get everything, no matter what level they are.
Okay. So when you say they get this much information, do you mean that they, so with BD, you can kind of make the different post types members only and choose which members can see certain post types. But when you say limit the information, what do you mean exactly with that?
Well, let's say like, okay, the standard information is an image, is the address, is the, whatever, the phone number for the person or what have you. Let's say that there's additional information that would be available to only certain members.
Got it. Okay. So you could do two things. I'll show you not exactly what you're talking about, but I'll kind of help you get close there so you can create that kind of that separation of access. So what you'd want is with the members only content add-on. What you can do is, number one is, let's say that the pro members can post articles and events, and a general user, they can only see those articles and events if they're a higher tiered general user or something like that. So so that's one way to do it. The second thing to do, and there's a video here, but this might be even better for you. What you might want to do is let me go to a post type here, just a second, is allow people to reach the search results pages, but don't allow them to like read the blog article as an example. So they can kind of see a preview of it in the search results. They basically get the teaser of it, but when they want to read it, so what you want to do is just protect here. So I'm editing a post type here. I know I'm going pretty quick. So let's say member podcasts. When you have the members only add-on, you can choose to protect the search results page or protect also the detail page. That's the meat of the article or whatever the post is. So if you just protect the detail page, people can still access the search results page, but all they're going to see is the image and the one sentence and the title of it. When they click to view the whole article, it's going to ask them to upgrade to a plan that has access to that full information.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of referring to. I mean, just kind of this whole idea of, you were mentioning earlier in the presentation that the other gentleman was giving, and the idea of kind of gating some of it, so that way or even actually before his presentation, but gating some of the information. So this way, along the way, they realize, well, if they want this, then they got to sign up for this other member level, or they got to sign up for a membership if they didn't have it on that end. And that's kind of where we're going with it. So
I like this strategy of gating the detail page and allowing the search results page, because then they see there's all this juicy content on your site, and they're just one click away or one level away from being able to access all this premium content on your site.
Yeah, and then we took it a step further. I know you probably need to move on to other questions, but I've already done a version of this with one of the other gentlemen that's been on one of your, your sessions before, and was fantastic. And basically, what we set it up is on the post type that we're using. We have it to where if there's 3 different member levels for our end users, right? That are essentially paid member levels. And so if they're member level number 1. On that post, they can see this kind of information or this much of the information. If they're member level number 2, they can see this other section of information that we've added in there. And then if they're member level number 3, that's tricky. They can see even more information. So, and we kind of have to do the custom code, but it worked great.
It is a little custom code, and and thank you for bringing this up, Dave. So actually what Dave's referring to is we did an update a while ago where if you go to the body of the body, this is more for the developers out there. When a user is signed in, for example, this member is signed in the body, we have the class user session and their plan ID. So when we have this is again for the developers out there, we know the plan that the member signed. So this is a membership plan level 4 person that signed in. What we can do then is, and I'll just show a quick snippet here. Say you wanted to hide all the send message stuff. So, you could, with CSS, you can do this and front load it with the body class like this. Again, more for the developers out there, and do a display none. And that goes away for people who are logged in as membership plan 4. So what Dave did is he worked with a designer who probably maybe did it a different method, but this is like a quick and dirty way to kind of just, not dirty way, but quick and easy way to kind of hide elements or show elements on your site based on if a user is logged in, as well as if when a user is logged out. When a user is logged out, let's go look at that. It just says general session here in the body class. So you can, again, for web designers out there, you can utilize CSS to hide or show elements based on if they're logged in, their membership plan, or if they're not logged in. So glad you brought that up, Dave. Let's move on to our friend Brian here. How you doing, Brian?
Pretty good, and you?
Pretty good. Thank you so much.
I just had like 2 or 3 quick things that I think, I would like to have them. I've heard other people say some stuff as well about these as well. The first one would be like, do you guys have the availability to be able to delete sent items from your Outbox?
Not right now because they're system emails and the system is actually counting how many emails your site has sent out. So just for the sake of reconciling the email usage, it would keep it in the Outbox.
Okay, yeah, because that would be kind of cool, like in the future, if you guys could figure something out like that.
Would an archive system be better there?
Yeah, if you could move them to archive, that would be cool too. Like it just seems like if you're going through that stuff, like you kind of want to archive it and like get it out of the way if there's like a bunch of them in there.
Yeah, that Outbox will probably be pretty busy because it's all the system emails, the signups, the lead emails that probably go out to multiple people at a time. So I think it's always going to be almost like a stream of consciousness of your site.
Or even like a filter like for different types of stuff like you guys do in
that's a good idea too.
An admin area for what people have done like in the admin section.
Yeah, welcome emails, leads, one-offs, right? Because you can compose one-off emails.
Yeah,
that's a great suggestion. Thank you. What else you got, Brian?
The next one is phone number formatting standards. I know, like, depending on who is filling out and creating their profile or whatever, they may have like a million different ways that you could do a phone number, right? You could, but I mean, this should be like something, because you have people around the world. So obviously you'd have to figure out like for everybody around the world, because I'm actually branching out into other countries now. So it would be good to like have that kind of stuff as well. To where you
do that. No, I'm with you. We have a country option for the phone number field. we may be able to, for certain countries, pin a format to the phone number entered when you're using that input. So so that way it knows based on the country, the flag, right? We've seen that before where you choose your country code with a flag and then you enter your phone number. So that's something to look into.
Just something to where like if they're typing in there, it automatically will format it like some certain sites do. Because the problem I have is, you can select that little flag or the +1 or whatever you are selecting, and then they end up putting it in there in the spot next to it. So like now you have a +1 or you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
They just, and you can't be like, oh, well, I only want 10 characters because maybe like it's 11 in another country or something like that, right?
Right. That's a great suggestion as well.
And then my third one would be either a password generator in the admin area for when you're adding like a brand new member. Because a lot of times I add a lot of members in the admin area just on the fly. So either password generator in there, or like if you can add an app option to skip the password, kind of like it does when it imports them from CSV.
Fair enough. These are good. These are all good suggestion.
Yeah, those are the three that I had for today.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Always appreciate them very much. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, good stuff there from Brian. All right, we got, let's see here, Isaac. Got you here, Isaac on deck. There we go. How you doing, Isaac?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Thank you. What's your question for us today?
My question was back towards when Ryan was talking about the vendors that he was selling products on that particular site. My question is, my site is more directed towards an industry professional and finding that industry professional. So, but I would like to add vendors on the site to possibly sell their products to those industry professionals, as well as drive more traffic and so forth. So when adding, let's say, a vendor to a site that is specific for just finding and those industry professionals, would it be, I know he had mentioned that he gives them a top level category, but from my assumption is someone who you do not want to show up on the search when they're searching for those professionals, you would most likely not assign a top level category, unless I'm mistaken with that, which is possible. So my thought was, when adding a vendor who's just selling products, let's say with the product post structure, would it be most wise not to give them that top level category and just have a membership plan, which they would just have access to posting XYZ amount of products as per the limit of that plan? Or is that way of thinking
right
something like that?
Gotcha.
Or, because he had, sorry to interject one last time. I know you were about to answer, but he had mentioned so forth about, they do have a top level category. So I'm assuming that he does have them show up on search too, even though they're just selling products, or maybe they are also a practitioner. But in my case, I wouldn't want them to show up on search.
Gotcha. Spencer, you want me to pass it over to you, asking about how the product vendors are classified on the site?
The product vendors, they sign up. Do you mean like how they join the website?
Well, you mentioned that you assign them a top level category, but is that top level category searchable on the site as well with the rest of the members, or do you do it like where it's only the subcategory search on the site?
So yeah, it's the subcategory search, so it doesn't mix with professionals that are signed up. The vendors, they don't have a search result quote unquote page for them. They just list the products.
Got it. So to answer, I'll explain to you how it works real quick in this example here, Isaac. Follow me here. Let's go to design settings, and I'll show you how Spencer achieved this. I'll go to homepage design, and there's search boxes here, and there are some that are only, you see all these top, sub. There are some that are just sub and sub-sub search or subcategory and location. Let's just search the sub and sub-sub. And the first question is, okay, if you're going to search sub and sub-sub, it needs to initially be pinned to a category. So here we have select a sub-level category and then the sub-sub. So if we come here, we're seeing commercial and residential. And what's happening here is there is a top-level category. It is the first top-level category in the database. So if we go to member categories and we see our top-level categories, it's actually pinning it. We don't see it, but it's pinning it to this roofing top-level category. So Isaac, if you made a top-level category like professionals and a second top-level category called product vendors or whatever you want to call it, you could then utilize the sub and sub-sub search on your site and totally skip the top-level category. It'll jump right into searching for the practitioners, the professionals in this way. This is one way to go around and do that.
I see what you're saying. Since it's so focused on the practitioner, I don't know if I want to have sub showing up on the front page like that.
Well, I was just showing you that when you're doing the search modules, it doesn't have to be on the home page, but you can start your search modules, whether they're in the sidebar or wherever, omitting the top-level category selection. So it will jump right into the subs and sub-subs for the professionals that you're searching.
So basically, it could also be added as a menu item where it would direct them to that sub-sub, right?
That's also another, you can link directly as a menu item as well, correct.
So then if that were the case, those members then that are vendors would have basically a similar style structure in what their profile would look like on search, but only when they click on, let's say, that menu item or however they get to that page, wherever that link would be placed, but they would basically have a profile that once you would go into the profile, then you would go see their products.
Yes, that is correct. So, well, actually, you would search the products, and it would say who the publisher is of those products.
Right. Okay, so it would send directly to the products page, and then they can click on that product and see who posted it and see who the poster was.
God, yes, that is correct. You're just giving me an idea. It's come up so many times. Just an option to hide specific categories from the public search modules, so that you can have categories, but they're not necessarily searchable, or they're omitted from the search modules.
And that will. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that would solve a lot of problems for a lot of people trying to create categories, but they don't want the category searchable or the member searchable or both or vice versa. So I could see how a setting like that would be highly valuable.
Yeah, because currently I have employers per se, and I have that as a membership plan, but I remove them from any type of category, at least the accounts I have on there, so that way they would not come up on a general search. And the only way to find them is to go through an actual link through a menu link that sends each
through an alternate pathway. Right.
So I was curious how Ryan gave them the categories and how he differentiated the vendors from the practitioners if they were coming up on a search like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can always say, like, what are you searching for? If you're going to include both of them, a simple thing would just to say, what are you searching for? And then from there you say, I need a expert practitioner, or I'm looking for products and whatever, and then narrow it down from there. However, the vendors, you're not really looking for the vendors. You want to look for actual products. So I think, making it a menu link and is probably the best way to do that, as you mentioned. Thank you so much, Isaac, for those questions. And let's see here. We have our good friend Steven here.
How are you, Jason?
Good. Thank you. How are you?
Great. Thanks. Hey, I have a question for you. Obviously, I've spent a lot of money on customizations, and over the past couple of years of doing all these customizations, BD has been aggressively putting out new and updated features, which kind of takes all my customization, not all of them, but a lot of them away. Is there any easy way to identify those customizations that are no longer needed, such as my search boxes and things like that? And is there an easier way to do that and then utilizing the standard features in BD?
Absolutely, that's a fair question. One of the easiest things you can do is you can check out our blog. These are also replicated in the support center, support.brilliantdirectories.com. Let me actually go there as well with you. Just a moment here. Okay, this will probably be better. So if you go to support.brilliantdirectories.com, we have a change log here, and I think you can follow it. This is a week by week, and I think you can get notified. There's an RSS feed. I'll have to find it for you, but basically here, and the week by weeks are a lot shorter than the monthly ones. The monthly one's over 100 updates, but you'll see in bold text widget involved. So anytime, because when you do a customization on your site, you may be customizing some of the available and default widgets that you have source code access to. So really, I mean, what's being pushed week after week, it's just based on time and priority and things like that. But this is the best way to kind of see what's changed. And if you notice one of your widgets that you have customized on your sites has been updated in the widgets involved here, you might want to take a second look at your customization or what the update was and see if you might want to disable your custom widget and just use the default functionality.
So if I disable the custom widget, will it automatically revert to the default?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, that's a huge benefit here is you don't have to delete your custom work. You can simply disable the custom widget, not delete it, disable it. And then you can go visit your site and see how your site's performing or how that area is being affected. And if you choose to, you can simply re-enable it if you want to reactivate that customized widget without deleting it at all.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks so much. That answers my question.
All right. Good stuff there, Stephen. Yeah, Stephen's been with BD for quite a while and call him a BD OG. All right, we got our good friend Stephen here with a V. Let me unmute your microphone here, Stephen.
Okay. Hi, how you doing? Quick question, I guess the question's for Spencer, but anyone can answer it. I guess regarding the whole concept of, is it better to, generally speaking, I know everything is different based on your website, but generally speaking, is it better to have a prospective, member or client do a free trial, or is it better to do a demo? I've seen both being done. I mean, obviously with a demo, you're speaking to someone, the BD admin, is an opportunity to guide them in a way that shows them the great parts of your site and not the other parts of the site you don't want them to see. But of course, the free trial gets them in, So I don't know if there's a school of thought on that as to kind of what's the best strategy to win them over.
Yeah, so I can answer that, Jason. So with a demo, kind of looking at it like a discovery call or when you meet with people, when you meet with them, they have an idea of what your product is or what your services are, what you're doing, and they're wanting to learn more and kind of build that relationship up. Plus, if you have a way of people meeting with you, you might have a booking calendar of some kind that collects contact information so you can always keep nurturing to them. Kind of like what I was saying before with a free trial or even a free membership plan. If I think having that is great because it's easier for people to get their foot in the door for you to then start nurturing them to your paid content and start educating them more on what it is you do. Because if you're a new brand and the only way that, like I was saying before, the only way that I can interact with you is by paying you money to be listed on the site, I still don't really have a clear understanding of what it is. You want to have ways where you can build relationships with people.
So you would say the free trial is the better approach?
I would probably, if you are able, I would definitely do both. The free trial will be good to get people's, contact information or get them signing up to get them more familiar with the site and still nurture them to possibly book a call with you and meet with you personally and you talk to them about the site and learn their pain points. So I would say it's both of them you'd want to be doing.
And last quick question, what's the sort of the school of thought on when it comes to free trial with credit card entered so that after the free trial finishes, credit card starts charging, or the idea of free trial, no credit card needed kind of thing? Obviously, you can see the pros and cons of both approaches, and obviously from the BD admin person, one would think the free trial with the credit card is the better way to go because you have a chance of, charging when they're done with the free trial. So any thoughts around that?
I was just going to say one thing. I think, and I'll let you take over. Part of that depends on how sticky your product or service is. If you have confidence that they're not going to want to leave after the free trial, you may want to skip asking for the credit card up front and get more free trial users up front. I'll just say that part of it is a little bit depends on how sticky, addictive, or useful your product or service is. That would dictate that decision. I'll pass it over to you, Spencer.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's how easy is it for people to understand and how you're educating them. Like if you're signing up for a free trial, well, what are you doing after they sign up? How much are you still interacting with them? How many emails are they getting? How well do they understand what it is that you're doing? And of course, over time, this takes tweaking to really perfect that. But I think it's really more on the understanding of it all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you so much, Spencer. It was a fantastic webinar. Thank you so much, Spencer, for your presentation. And yeah, you guys can go to brilliantsetups.com. And Spencer, you mentioned there's a free a workshop or roadmap video. What was that exactly?
Yeah. So it's a free video course that anyone can sign up to. It's brilliantsetups.com/go. And this course talks a lot about the buyer journey, talking about how you're introducing the brand to people who are new to your site, new visitors. What does your landing page for people to sign up, what does that talk about? So we deep dive a lot more on those things and other topics as well.
Awesome. So it seems like a little bit more than just general configuration. We're talking about the psychology of marketing and how to compel people to take action on your site.
Right.
Awesome. Okay. And then let's see what else. The next webinar is in 2 weeks. We have huge lab updates that we shared today. The business data, I am crossing my fingers and confident it will be released by the next webinar. So this month in June. Big shout out to the BD development team there. And yeah, the Facebook group winners. If you're not part of the Facebook group, please join us at brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. We will post the YouTube live replay in that group. We also recommend and invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube. On behalf of Spencer from Brilliant Setups, myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, it's been a pleasure and awesome being with you guys here today. Thank you so much. Next webinar is in 2 weeks, mid-June. We'll see you there. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Take care, guys.